Everybody, welcome back to Wicked Good Sports. This is Around the Diamond, and we're joined, as always, by Rhett Conway. Rhett, how you doing?
Doing good. It's good to be back. How are you, Brian?
Doing well. So there's been some struggles with our beloved Red Sox. What's happening? What are you seeing out there?
I'm seeing a lot of swinging and missing, and I'm seeing a bullpen that we have no idea what to do with right now. A big part of that is Cora getting COVID and
Mm-hmm.
having missed several games. I do not want to lay all of this at Will Venable's feet necessarily, and I do know that he it's not when a manager's not the dugout. It's not like phones don't exist. I'm sure that he has input as to what's going on, but
Mm-hmm.
bullpen decisions led to two of the most brutal losses in recent
Mm-hmm.
Red Sox memory. I
All
mean,
right, well, take us through these losses.
the one in Tampa. I mean, no hit through nine.
Mm.
Managed to keep it a scoreless game. In the 10th, Bobby Dahlbeck, who hasn't hit anything, hits a triple.
Mm-hmm.
We're up by two. Everything looks great, and then just complete inability to close it out. Hansel Robles, who at this point, and again, it's one of the reasons why I'm not saying this is Venable's fault, but he had not given up a run all year until Kevin Kiermaier took him deep into right field to end the game.
Mm-hmm.
Did we have any right to win that game? No, but it's baseball, and sometimes you win games that you shouldn't, and I think that would have been a great boost. And then the Toronto game 2 nights ago, we finally start scoring. I think it was the eighth inning. We score 4 runs, 5 runs.
Mm-hmm.
We have like a 4 or 5 run cushion. I think it was 5 runs, and suddenly no one can pitch. Matt Barnes looks completely lost on the mound. I have
Mm-hmm.
no idea what's going on with him. And I was wondering at the beginning of the season, I brought it up last week, why are we not using him? No one has confidence in him. I don't even think Matt Barnes has confidence in Matt Barnes right now. And that's real tough. And then the other problem with the Toronto, and I hate to go butterfly effect on this, but how didn't go with the team because he didn't get vaccinated, which means that Whitlock isn't available out of the pen because Whitlock had to start the game on Thursday.
Mm-hmm.
If Whitlock comes into the ninth inning, I think we win the game.
Right.
But he didn't, and now Matty Barnes did, which for the first half of last year was an absolute fine thing to have happen, but now he
Mm-hmm.
can't pitch, and it just spirals out of control. It's not all Hauk's fault either, but it's just one of those things where every time we turn around, we are just not catching a break.
Mm. So, I mean, are there any bright spots? I guess any silver linings to what's happening that you can
Well, I
kind
mean,
of
the
go?
first thing I want to get into, and this is a bit of a silver lining, is the problem with our offense is we are just too free swinging.
Mm.
We have the highest chase rate in the league. We swing
Right.
at 37% of all pitches outside the zone. We also have the highest swing rate on pitches inside the zone at 73. We swing all the time. I think we're making up a decision to swing before the ball's even thrown. That does lead to the highest swing and miss rate.
Mm.
We are only 17th in strikeouts, though, which means
Right.
that we're very good at making contact with the ball. Our problem is just pitch selection, and Cora had touched on that, especially in the beginning of the year. We were chasing too much out the zone. We got to be smarter. One thing I think is very interesting is we are fourth in the number of hard hit balls. So that's anything that's hit more than 95 miles an hour.
Mm.
But we're 11th in hard hit rate, which again comes down to we swing at everything.
Right.
So I think once the offense calms down, starts being a little bit more selective, everyone's healthy all at the same time. We had lost JD for 3 or 4 days because of an oblique, I believe. Vasquez had COVID. Not that you ever expect Vasquez to necessarily rake, but he's a better hitter than what he's done so far.
Mm.
I think we're going to be fine. And then the other thing is Xander Bogaerts has just absolutely turned it on. Through the first 7 games this year, he had a 222 average with 10 strikeouts. That is very un-Xander-like.
Right.
And, of course, Boston media being what they are, it's all about the lack of extension and all this. In the 12 games since then, he has a 480 average with 7 extra base hits, 7 RBIs. He was 4 for 4 last night. I mean, he's just absolutely turned it on. He's swinging at smart pitches. And then the other bright spot is Michael Wacha has just been such a bright spot.
Mm.
He's got a 1.77 ERA with 20.1 innings pitched. The only pitcher that's pitched more innings for us has been Nate Eovaldi.
Mm,
And even by that, I think it's like another half an inning.
right.
Which, speaking of, Evaldi's finally settled down. 7 innings of 2-run ball against a very, very good Toronto lineup on Monday. He's starting to look a lot better. He's not letting up the home runs like he was.
Mm,
Pavetta had a start I didn't hate, so that's definitely an improvement.
okay, that's good.
And also, Tanner Houck is actually a very good pitcher when we're not in Canada and he can't go. He had a bad start to the Yankees, but since then he's pitched 12 and a third innings of 2-run ball. I mean, the pieces are there. It's just getting all the pieces to fit together at the same time.
Mm-hmm.
That seems to very much be a problem. And then we're not in a horrible spot. The Yankees are running away right now in the division, but they just got done with a 4-game set against Baltimore.
Mm-hmm.
You change the schedules around. I think that we do pretty well against Baltimore too.
Right.
So
we'll have a chance to, right?
Yep, they're who we see next. We go to Baltimore for 3 after we're done Toronto. Then we got an off day on Monday, and then Tuesday it is showtime at Fenway. Shohei Ohtani starting on the bump. I'm excited because it's Shohei, and I'm excited because it's Trout, but I'm not looking forward to that because Shohei Ohtani is the best player in baseball, and Mike Trout has the highest OPS in the league. So keeping those two guys under control is going to be a bit dangerous. And then after that, we have 3 against the White Sox. Currently, the White Sox are struggling, but they're also a very good team. The White Sox are a lot like us right now. Their lineup is just lost. They have a very good lineup, and they just cannot hit the ball. So the Sox are struggling everywhere.
The Sox are struggling everywhere. So I guess, like, I've seen kind of in our group chat, you've been kind of back and forth. Like, are the alarm bells, like, going off for you, or are you kind of more, like, optimistic going forward?
I'm optimistic. I'm a little worried about pitching now. I still think we're going to be fine. I'm a little worried that fine in pitching and good in hitting won't be enough to get to the playoffs in this division. I think that we will be good in hitting. I absolutely do. Our lineups have been a little sketchy. I do not want Travis Shaw in our lineup anymore. I love him. He's a mayor of Ding Dong City. I have great memories with him, but you want to talk about loss at the plate, man. He looks like he's trying to hit a golf ball up there. I don't know what's going on with him. I want us to get another arm, but again, you got Sale coming back. You got Paxton coming back. Everyone wants to extend Devers. I want to extend Devers. Everyone wants to make Xander happy and stay. I want to make Xander happy. So I don't know if the solution right now is to try to go get somebody, if there is even anyone to go get. So I think that's where I'm at. I'm at the G. I do kind of wish we did more, but everyone who is under 500 at the end of April definitely feels that way, especially in this division.
Right.
If we lose 2 out of 3 to Baltimore this weekend, then some alarm bells will be going off, I think.
The next episode will be a different tone.
Yeah. The next episode is going to tell you a lot about where I actually think we're going to end up, because if I'm worried next episode, I think things might be bad. But, Trevor Story's got a little 6-game hitting streak going on. He only has a 240 average in those 6 games, so it's about 1 a game. But he hit the wall in inning 8, I think, on Wednesday night, and I really thought he was going to go deep again. He's getting better. Like I said, Xander's getting better. Devers, he's not quite in a slump, but he does not have a good fly ball rate right now. He's getting a lot of grounders through the middle. I think once he picks up, once JD picks up, and then you go Trevor Story, Xander Bogaerts, Rafi Devers, JD Martinez. That is the best first 4 hitters in baseball.
Right.
They just need to start hitting, and I think that's the other reason why I'm not too worried. Our problem right now is actually offense. Everyone wants to lay it at the bullpen's feet, but our problem is offense. And we have a very good offense, and we don't need to replace anyone on offense. We need everyone to stay healthy. We need people to stop getting COVID, but that's kind of universal right now.
It's tough. I feel like just so many professional athletes aside, for whatever reason, this little spike is just so many people I know have gotten it. So you can't really do much.
This has definitely been a spike, and I don't wish COVID on anybody, and I'm not saying I hope that it happens, but if in the middle of July the Yankees and Toronto Blue Jays go through a COVID spike like we did, pretty soon they're going to have 3 or 4 brutal losses and go, 5-15 over a stretch, and we'll see where it's at. So,
Yeah.
again, I hope that doesn't happen. I'd like to beat him outright, but
Right. Of
you
course.
can't disregard that that's happened as well. I mean, Alex Cora, there's a reason we won last night. Alex Cora was back in the dugout. I don't think that you can underestimate how big of a presence he is.
Right.
And that's the thing. I don't even think Venable did anything that Alex Cora wouldn't do. I think that it's Cora and guys want to play for him.
No, I mean, I think that makes a lot of sense. Like, he's the manager. He's a World Series champ. You know, there's an air of authority that comes with him.
Absolutely.
So
Absolutely.
makes sense to me. Anything else that we haven't touched on that you wanted to touch on?
No, I don't think so. I think that's it.
All right. Well, with that, where can they find you online?
Don't really have a Twitter presence. Have an Instagram. You can see pictures of my kid and where I work. That's about all the time I had to post. So, Rhett Conway
follow the
on
blog too. Rhett is on the Wicked Good Everything Sports blog, writing about the Red Sox there. So if the once a week video isn't enough, we got more stuff there for you.
Yep, that is true. I'm going to start getting some more blogs up there too.
I know I have to too. I mean, big night tonight for the NFL. We got the draft. I'm waiting to kind of see what happens. Not a big night for the Dolphins though. We don't have any
very
picks.
very small night for the Dolphins.
Yeah, I'm gonna just watch Tyreek Hill highlights, I guess. And
is it true they don't have a pick in the first round?
They don't have a pick till the third round this year. Yeah, so not much happened in the next 2 nights for the Dolphins, but it should be a good draft. Should be exciting for the other teams. So we'll have some
Deebo Samuel might get traded mid-draft, so we'll see.
We'll see. If you believe people on Dolphins Twitter, he's going to come to the Dolphins. Doesn't make sense to me. Don't think they can afford him and Tyreek Hill.
Okay, the Jets are convinced that they're going to get him too. So.
Yeah, so I think that's more likely. Not to be a tangent, but the Jets have the space and they have the draft capital through the Sam Darnold and Jamal Adams trades with Seattle. So I think that'd be a good landing spot for him. He could make a lot of money. So I don't personally want him to be on the Jets, but
I don't want him to be on the Jets either. And I know this is some bias, but imagine wanting to leave the 49ers and ending up with the Jets instead. Just
rough stuff.
Wonder why guys have no trade clauses.
Yeah, and also I think the New York media, I mean, we talk about the Boston media being brutal. New York's a tough place to play as well. So I would much rather sit in the Bay. I don't think they're quite as tough out there on their players as New York is. But other than that, you can follow me on Twitter at @theFakeBMar. This BMARR channel is on Twitter at WickedGoodSport or WG Everything. Instagram Wicked Good Everything. Twitch.tv/Wicked Everything, and on TikTok, search Wicked Sports. Search Wicked Everything. Rhett, thank you so much for your time.
Of course, glad to be here.
And we'll see you all in the next one.